Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, once again, I want to show you defensive strategy that I'm using. This is going to be nickel defense. It could be a 2-4 nickel defense or just nickel normal defense. You could pretty much find a nickel defense in every single playbook in the game. So what I'm showing you right now is a defensive scheme that I run. It's more coverage than high pressure. I have the ability to do some pressure and stuff like that, but it's very coverage related. And because I use match coverage in this scheme, it's very difficult to actually work against. So I'm using the 49ers for my gameplay. And then one of the things I actually go ahead and use is for my offense, I'm using the Chicago Bears as my offense, and then also my defensive scheme is New England Patriots. If you guys want to see a full breakdown of while I'm running my stuff, if you like this type of content, you can go to my Patreon. I've got breakdowns. I'm actually going to put comprehensive information about my Bears offense, but I've got basically ebook breakdown of the Patriots defense outside of this nickel scheme. I've got comprehensive videos on spread scheme and how I run that, and I've got a full write-up on the Eagles playbook and also the Browns playbook, and then I've got a small little write-up on the Chargers defense. So I want to show that guy to you guys. So I do have the whiteboard going on that I'll be showing you, stopping these plays and stuff like that. I'm writing up the board on how I run my coverages. But my plan is to actually go ahead on my Patreon, actually go ahead and put a more comprehensive breakdown. So every specific formation you go against, you're going to be able to decide on how I'm going to run my defense this way against this formation, and run my defense this way, my other formation. So it's going to give you a comprehensive idea on how to defend certain things that people like to use based on the formation they actually use. So first thing we're always going to use, match coverage is going to be our first thing you always do. I turn that on. And then I go ahead and tackle conservative. You can leave that as is. I always go ahead and do conservative on option and on base align. That's probably the most important thing when it comes to selecting your defense. Now, I end up scoring a touchdown with my Chicago playbook. When I go into the 2-4, first thing I do is I go down to the very bottom and I actually go ahead and put in Palm's defense. This is going to be one of the defenses I use against a lot of trip sets, and I do certain zone drops and stuff like that, and use certain players depending on the formation and the leverage that I have. Next thing I'm going to do is going to use the cover 3 sky. I'm going to swap it out for this particular play, which is going to be the cover 3 hard flats. The reason I use hard flats is against people that like to spam mesh, or it's condensed formations where they're actually everything's tight. So in other words, if they try to hit corner routes, so those deep thirds are actually going to go ahead and pick up those corner routes. So that's the logic behind that. Silver shoots pinch. I'm going to use the Overstorm Brave. And then I think what I did is I just left the play as is, because I usually don't use the top audible in my scheme. I use about 3 different plays. So right here, you can see the strong side of the formations right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my defensive line and shift it over. And then I've got this single wide receiver, which is a deep threat. So typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and man him up. And then I'm going to go ahead and user this guy down in the box and just try to go ahead, and if he tries to run out here, I'm going to get run support on the outside. If he tries to do an off tackle, basically these guys are going to get picked up, and I should be able to get inside against them with the way my run setup. So you can see I have that set up. Now I've got to get to the back side right here, and I get a nice little tackle for a 1-yard gainer with Nick Bosa. That's because he's just a really good player. He probably would have picked up more yards if it was a different team I was using. So cover 6, halfback stretch. You want to show him that I have run defense. Make sure that he gets out of it. Now he goes into a tight Y off formation. And this is where I typically like to go into a cover 3, but I think I didn't set it up correctly. Right here, let's go ahead and see if I do get into cover 3. No, I inadvertently, I think, jump into cover 1, which is not what I wanted to do. He actually hits me in the spot right there, but I'm able to go ahead and get a nice little tackle right there and that against him. So he quick snapped me right there with the spot metal play. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in the cover 6. This is my base defense. This is what I like to do. It gives me a chance to go into cover 2. Now he's got a tight formation, and I'm feeling that it's going to be mesh. So basically what I do is I jump into cover 3. And what I do is I take this guy and I put this guy into a deep third, and then I put my user into a hook, and I play down in the box. But I have to protect against the seam, so that's going to be my first read. As long as nobody's actually going into the seam, I'm just going to come down and play in the box against them. Right here, he does a mesh concept, and actually he throws over the top. He hits the weak part of the defense, but I like that. I like that defense. He didn't really have anywhere to go. You know, he had to get rid of the ball. It was just a nice little crossing route, and he did some scramble girls with it. But it was, you know, dry flood, and he was able to hit me at the next level. So that defense was pretty sound. I don't have a problem with it. He actually had the right play dialed up for that defense. So if I was running a different defense, he might have caught him off guard. So I form wing. Usually what I do is I run cover 6 against it. I'm going to take it with cover 6. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in a man assignment. I'm going to shift my line over, my linebackers over, and I'm going to take this guy down in the box and try to defend to the outside. He's got a short side of the field, so you really should be running this flipped just to give him some more of a setup. You can see how I've got this set up correctly. So if he does try to run. Now, my goal is to try to protect against anything that kind of comes over the top of the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry over the top if he does some type of play action play. I do go ahead and reset my guys, but you can see how I'm carrying with this guy right here. This is the guy I'm worried about. These guys are one-on-one. He's locked up, but I'm actually worried about this crossing route right here. And I do have these guys falling out into zones to take it with those little crossing routes. So actually does try to drop it down to my middle linebacker. He actually plays it pretty good. He got rid of the ball earlier. If he would have waited past the numbers, he might would have actually got a peel off match assignment and actually go ahead and get himself a completion on the sidelines. He just got rid of the ball a little bit too quick. Gun, spread, Y slot. Second and 10 situation. Then he's running against me. Right here, I think I go into, let's see what I didn't get this set up. Basically, these guys came down. He was wide open, and he quick snapped me. I just didn't have the right defense set up. I think I was actually in a man coverage assignment. As a result, he actually throws. He's just trying to scramble. He's just trying to break out. You know, I know that's the meta online is that you just do the rollouts and hope for the defense to break down. But he quick snapped me on corner strike, and I did not have the right defense set up. The cover 4 palms was not the right defense for this because it breaks because of the way the play is set up. So as a result, I'm lucky I actually got a stop. So right here in cover 4 palms, I like to go and do the final adjustments. Let's see if I see the play arc. I like to take this guy and put him in a flat. And when I've got a single wide receiver, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in man coverage. My goal was actually to get on top of this guy, but I think I was making adjustments and I got myself on my lineman, so it's not what I want to do. If I do have an opportunity, I'm going to put this guy into a deep third so he doesn't get over the top. But you can see right here, actually, he's trying with the crossing routes. Right here, he throws over the top. That almost got picked off because he's going to the opposite side of the formation and throwing across the middle of the field. So it just really wasn't a very good read for him. I should have picked him off on that. He actually punts. This is a weird situation to punt. You know, usually when you're on this side of the close to the 50-yard line, most people go for it because there's some yardage. So I don't know why he punted the ball against me. Not a very sound decision. But it actually works out for him in the long run because I end up making a mistake down on the opposite red zone where I misthrow the ball right here, and he picks it off, and he actually takes the ball down. Luckily for me, I'm able to go ahead and slow him down a little bit with Purdy. I mean, I'm able to get a tackle right there at the 11-yard line, but he got himself a good turnover because I had a misthrown ball. It was overthrown. I misread it correctly, and I think what happened is Purdy overthrew the ball, threw it into his defensive back, and he almost went pick 6 with it. So right here, down to the red zone, I don't know why I'm in man coverage. I'm just not setting up my defense. I think I was a little bit flustered at what was going on. So right here, I go ahead and I put this guy into a man assignment. Like I typically do, I'm going to take this guy and I should put him into an outside zone. And I'm going to user this guy and just prevent anything coming over the middle of the field. That's like I'm really trying to protect this box right here. That second half right there. So I shift the line off just to protect against running. So this is essentially how my defense is set up. And he's got a little whip route that falls into one of my zones. He throws right to my defender and catches it. That should have been an interception. He threw right to me, and that should have picked him off right there. He actually I didn't get the animation against him, so that was just a lucky break for him. Goes into gun tight Y off. And I think what I'm thinking right now is, because this is tight formation, I'm thinking cover 3. And let's go ahead and see if I see the play art. I'm on the wrong guy, and actually throws. So he quick snapped the play, just an inside zone, and he gave up a touchdown. So I didn't even get the play art set up correctly. So I'm up 14-7. This is a really good drive by him. Look at the clock situation. He's got 22 seconds left. He's got all 3 of his timeouts. He's got really 4 plays. He's got 4 plays to get into field goal range. He does a good job with this drive. So I stay with cover 4, and basically what it is, I put these guys into deep thirds, and I'm just going to user this guy. I'm going to match up to this guy, and if he wants to do any kind of vertical stuff, that's fine. I just don't want him getting over the top against me. So right here, I'm carrying with this. These guys are bracketed, and he doesn't want to check it down. He was trying to push the ball up a little bit higher. I get myself a nice little block shed, and I get first ball right there. 17 seconds left. He's got time for 3 more plays, so I don't want to give up any kind of yardage. So I figured, since he had our time with palms again, I'm just going to go and run that defense one more time. He comes out of the gun split close, and this is actually a good play recognition. He actually picks up a good chunk of yards on this. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and put my guys into deep thirds so they don't get sucked down in any kind of animation. I'm going to use the third receiver, so I really should be watching this guy, but I think I didn't watch it correctly. They should have flipped this play. So right here, I'm just kind of playing in the middle of the field, and he actually throws inside against me. I didn't read it correctly. I carried with the one guy over the top, and as a result, he actually checks it down with one of his timeouts right there. So he's got time for 2 more plays, basically 1 more play, and to get a field goal. But you can see right here, he's got basically, he's on the halfway marker. He gets 10 more yards. He's going to essentially be, 10, 15 more yards. He's in field goal range. So he hit me with wheel, halfback wheel, which is an OP play. That's an old school play that a lot of players have used online. He just quick snapped it and played it stock, and I got myself out of position. I didn't read that correctly. I didn't come down to it. So now he goes into gun tray flex. I'm going to go with cover 4. Once again, I like to drop this guy into hard flat. I put these guys into deep thirds because I don't want to give up any kind of deep routes. Since this guy slid in a little bit, I don't have to put this guy to deep third. So really, ideally, I want to put this guy in a deep third and take this guy and put him in a flat. And my job is to match the number 3 and carry him over the middle of the field. And if this guy wants to do a drag underneath, this guy will pick up that drag underneath if he chooses to go ahead and put anybody underneath it. But I choose something a little bit different. I go ahead and put this guy into a hook zone, 3-rec hook. So basically, I've got 2 3-rec hooks, and then I quickly make a quick adjustment with a QB contain, and that actually messes up my reads a little bit. Right here actually hits the out route, and I think what happens is I actually put this guy over here into a deep third, and if I didn't put him in a deep third, that would have matched right there and actually picked it up. So I overthought myself right there, and now he's in field goal range. He takes a timeout, and I'm thinking, you better kick your field goal right now. And he decides to actually run a play, which is shocking to me. 5 seconds left. Why he decides to run a play is beyond me. He goes with the I-form slot close. I'm going to go ahead and use cover 6 in this type of situation. And I'm going to go ahead. So he's got basically these guys slot offset. So I think I just ran it stock. I didn't want to get my players out of position. Go ahead and do a quick out, and right here this could have got picked up. It could have got intercepted if I would have hard flatted that guy. And that's probably what I should have done, and as a result, he actually gets a field goal out of this with the really risky play. I'm surprised he did that. He very confident, like he knew what he was doing with clock management. Smart play but risky play. I probably would have tried to kick the field goal, but you could see it worked out for him, so he got a field goal on that. So we've got a couple more series on defense here. He actually gets the ball back in the second half. So he's got an opportunity to make this a game. He's got a fairly good, he basically gets down to the 25-yard line. And in this type of situation, I go with cover 3. And once again, I've got the hard flats to take away any kind of mesh concept. He runs the ball, and what's good about the cover 3 is that you're going to have run fits. So in other words, he's going to get maybe 4 yards on a run. And a lot of times, people want to get 5 or 6 yards on a run. They won't settle for 4-yard gainers. So a smart player will come back and run the ball again in this type of situation against me. So you could see actually goes in I form close. Because if you're picking up 4 yards every shot and you got a 3rd and 2, that makes it very difficult to, it's hard to stop people in short distances like that. So here's my adjustment, cover 6. Once again, I'm going to man this guy up. I'm going to shift my line over to the strength of formation, shift everybody off, and I'm going to get down in the box right here. And if he runs the ball, basically I'm going to go into the box. We've got gap integrity that's going to shut that run down. But if he actually tries any kind of a crossing route over the middle of the field, my job as a user to go and protect that deep half. If he takes a shot up top, I've got my defensive back that's going to be in position to go and take that away. So you can see I'm coming down to the box, being a little bit more aggressive. And right here, I got my defensive end, or defensive player that actually got into the backfield right there. Almost got a sack out of him. He goes into play action deep routes. These are like kitch routes. I don't know what the hell he was doing with that, but that didn't work out for him. So gun wing slot offset. This, I think, is a situation where he decides that he wants to, I think it was using mesh or similar. This is a mesh play. I wasn't prepared for it. He didn't run this at all. I was looking for tight sets. It's mesh with the auto motion, and I had to go ahead and take away one of the routes. He actually drops down the other route. And you could pick up mesh routes. You could pick up 10 yards, dink and dunk someone down for easy 10-yard gainers with mesh if you got a guy that's not prepared for it. So that's why I use the hard flats, is because the hard flats cover 3 will take away those type of passing concepts against your opponent. So back at it again, we're going to go, I think, with cover 4. And I was trying to switch on to the backside safety. And right here, we go ahead and tackle him for a 5-yard gainer. So this is a successful run for him. He should probably be trying to come back and running the ball against me. Because anytime you get 4 yards or more, you should be thinking that you should run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. You want to force your opponent to go and defend that. He goes into tray set. Tray set, I like to jump into cover 4. And I'm using this guy right here. I should be putting this guy in a flat. This guy's into a deep third. And this guy, if he goes to the outside, this should match up with this. And he should meg on this guy with the cover 4 palms. And my job is to ride this guy over the middle of the field and pass him off to my safety help if necessary. So that's how I should run this. Right here, he actually goes with a running back route, and you can see he has nowhere to go with it. He throws into double coverage. That should have been an interception. So that was a bad read by him, and actually had the right defense set up for that. And the shock H option, this route right here can blow it up if you leave it as the standard palms. So I made the right adjustment with the way I was running that defense to basically shut that down. So everything worked out for me on that. 3rd and 5 situation goes into Y trips again. And right here I'm going to go in the palms, and I'm going to use this safety on the back side. I'm going to put this guy into flat, and I should meg this guy up right here. This should be what I'm doing against this guy. And if I get a chance to move the line over, I will. For run protection, you could see right here actually drops it down to a little crossing route. There are defenders there. You know what I mean? He's able to go and pick up a first down, but he's throwing in front of my defenders, and if those guys come down and play a little bit tighter, he's going to get picked off. So gun Y trips once again. Now the ball is on this weak side of the field, so I'm going to go ahead and put this guy out. I should have this guy in a deep third, and I'm going to meg this. I'm going to go ahead and man this guy up, and once again I'm going to play this guy and basically watch for anything coming over the field with my defense. Shift the line off if I can go ahead and make the adjustment. See how I got these guys shifted off? I got these guys shifted off, so if he tries to run, he's basically a leverage is going to basically get these linebackers in my run fits, and I'll be able to clean up to the outside. So once again, he goes ahead and throws a crossing around the backside, and look what this guy does right here. He just stops, gives up his number, and the trailing route, he actually throws to Warner, and right there I get myself a pick 6. So that's what I love about Palm's defense. If you make the appropriate adjustments and you anticipate certain things against these tray sets, these trip sets, is that a lot of times people just don't misread the stuff and all the stuff they like to do underneath. You have the matching principles over the top, and it's very difficult for your opponent to do that. So he's down 21-10 now. He needs to get a score in this game to stay in it. He's got a tight formation, so I'm going to go ahead and run cover 3 against him. And once again, I go ahead and take this guy, put him in a deep third, and I drop this guy down against a tight formation. I'm going to play in the box. He goes ahead and does play action, and I've got a crossing route. He missed this guy. This guy was open. But I think what he was doing is he's watching his crossing route. I don't know if he was reading over here, but this guy's falling in this zone. So here, this is the guy that was open in that play, but he tries to force it, I think, in the middle of the field with a crossing route. He's able to go and get it with that. He waited on it. So he no huddles, I believe. Actually, no, he takes it. Yeah, he no huddles in this type of situation. So I'm running cover 3 once again with the anticipation he might run. And I have to play the seams. And look at this. I almost come over and pick this off just because the ball just kind of hung up there on that. So he actually took a shot up top with like a deep stop play. And I'm able to go ahead and get to that because of the play action. So flex Y off close is the formation. This is screaming mesh to me. But I have been running cover 3 a lot. So I think what I jump into, do I jump into cover? So basically what I did is I jumped into, it might have been a cover 2 shell that I jumped into. Anytime I use this guy, that means I'm playing cover 2 for the most part, or cover 4. So he goes into a screenplay, something that I typically don't use, but you could see I'm forced him back on the inside. And when you play a screenplay, you always want to go to the outside. You never want to get forced back into the crowd of defenders. You want to go and try to get to the outside and go down the sideline. So here's what I do as a quick adjustment. I go ahead and put this guy into a vert hook. I put this guy into a deep half and then a soft squat. This is 3 quick adjustments. The hardest thing for me is just to get user onto this linebacker because he's in a 3 wide receiver hook zone. It automatically makes his match coverage. So if these guys go vertical, they're going to match and carry. They're not going to let the guy go through, and I'm not going to put this safety in conflict. I'm actually going to make him supported on that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in just to catch him off guard, and he actually hits me with a table route. Good decision right there. That was just a good decision, good read to hit the table route. If I wanted hard coverage, I probably had a guy that came down there, but he would have let the seam open up. So he quick snapped me into a flood play and actually hit the table route and made a good decision. Single back, deuce close. So this essentially is what I use to tie this game up. Typically what I like to do is single back, deuce close. I'll play cover 6. I'm going to user this guy down to the box. I'm going to take this guy, line him up on here, line him up on here. If I got time, I'll drop him into a hook zone, and then I'm going to take these guys and put them underneath coverage so they play hard flats. Now, I didn't get this set up correctly. I did have a couple of my adjustments set up. But you can see right here, I'm actually using one of my guys away. He throws into my flat over here off the right, and I get an interception. So this guy was playing a lot of plays stock, quick snapping me, trying to go ahead and get away with that type of stuff. But because I had a defensive scheme that I know coming into certain formations and going after, unfortunately for me, I'm able to go and get a stop. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you do like these type of tips, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want more information about how I run my schemes, you can go to my Patreon account. And basically, I'll show you breakdowns of how I run my schemes and offensive and defenses. Thank you for support. Until next time.